Watch the Mega Millions drawing live tonight here on TV 23. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV 23 Studios in Sublet, this is High Plains Today.
Hi everybody, welcome to High Plains Today on TV 23. Today is Tuesday, August 25th, 2015. On today's show, I'll be joined by Brian Nelson. Now, he is with the Finney County Preservation Alliance. We're going to be talking about the Windsor Hotel in Garden City. Now, let's take a quick look at some of the news. Well, Garden City firefighters spent all of Sunday night fighting a fire on Main Street that began in an ice cream shop and spread to an adjacent tire storage building. Fire started at about 6:30 p.m. Sunday at Paleteria Guaritos, an ice cream shop at 214 South Main, and eventually spread north to the adjacent warehouse full of tires. An electrical short inside the ice cream shop is believed to have caused the fire. Now, that's according to Garden City Fire Chief Alan Shelton. State Fire Marshal's office is investigating the fire. A preliminary hearing has been set in the case of Shauna Banda, the local medical marijuana advocate who faces multiple drug charges in addition to child endangerment. And Chief Judge Wendell Wurst on Monday set the preliminary hearing for 8:30 on November 16th in the Finney County District Court. Now, Banda is charged with 3 felonies and 2 misdemeanors. She was charged June 5th with endangering a child, distribution or possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of school property, unlawful manufacture of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Southwest Medical Center has announced that the 2015 Community Health Fair will take place from 7 a.m. to noon on Saturday, October 3rd at the Seward County Activity Center in Liberal. Now, this annual event features a series of lab tests, including a comprehensive metabolic profile, lipid profile, thyroid screen, and a complete blood count. And the cost of that is $35 per person. Kansas motorists enjoyed a return to declining gas prices now throughout the state as the end to the summer travel season approaches. Kansas average price for regular unleaded gasoline stands at $2.52 per gallon. That's down nearly 6 cents from this time last week. Now, to further demonstrate the slump of gas prices at the Kansas pump, today's price is nearly 13 cents lower than a month ago and nearly 79 cents lower than a year ago. That means Kansas, on average, are paying 24% less for gas than they were on August 25th in 2014. Most profoundly, the average price of gas today, both nationally and the Kansas average, is at the lowest level for August 25th since 2004. Dozens of Kansas school districts came away Monday with less than half of the emergency aid they were seeking from the state after an hours-long hearing that Democrats panned, but Governor Sam Brownback touted as an effective new mechanism to address school needs. 38 districts, including some of the state's largest and a number of western Kansas districts, were vying for $12.3 million in emergency funds that had been allotted by lawmakers for this purpose last March. In the end, the State Finance Council, a panel that includes Brownback and 8 legislative leaders, doled out a little more than $6 million, with some districts receiving more than they had requested and a few receiving nothing. Garden City USD 457, which sought more than $1 million in emergency aid, received less than $60,000. The top election official in Kansas has asked a Sedgwick County judge to block the release of voting machine tapes sought by a Wichita mathematician who is researching statistical anomalies favoring Republicans in counts coming from large precincts in the November 2014 general election. Secretary of State Chris Kobach argued the records sought by Wichita State University mathematician Beth Clarkson aren't subject to the Kansas Records Act and disclosure is prohibited by Kansas statute. His response, which was faxed last Friday to the Sedgwick County District Court, was made public yesterday. Clarkson is the chief statistician for the university's National Institute for Aviation Research. Now, she filed the open records lawsuit as part of her personal quest to find the answer to an unexplained pattern that transcends elections and states. And that's a look at just some of the things that are happening in the news. Stick around. I'll be right back with a look at weather after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV 23 with host Chris Jewell. TV 23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
Are you tired of worrying about going over your cell phone data cap? Tired of surprise bills and text messages asking for more money? Stop the insanity. Switch to unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. Switching is easy. Come in today and see for yourself. For a limited time, get free activation, up to $200 per line bill credit, and save on the latest smartphones. See how much you can save with unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. See store for details.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world. Informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, we're here at all hours, in the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here, 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 and here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
It's not his new group of friends. It's not the video games. It's not the neighborhood.
Mom, do I have to go to school today?
The biggest threat to your child's future could be you. Every day they miss, even in middle school, puts their graduation at risk.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
And welcome back as we look off to the northeast on the TV 23 tower cam. It is a bright, sunshiny day. It is nice out there. Let's take a look at the readings here at the station. As you can see, 77 degrees, relative humidity at 70%. Winds are out of the south-southeast at 10. Barometric pressure is holding just pretty steady. Looking at the current temps around the region, Liberal 81, Guyman and Perryton also 81, as well as Hayes. Everybody else pretty much in the mid-70s, except you get out to Lamar, 72 degrees. Looking at the current dew points, everybody pretty much in the mid-60s until you get over to the western part of the viewers. 46 in Pratt, so they're a little dry over there, and 55 in Hayes and Dodge City. Looking at our current wind speeds, everybody's out of the west, northwest, or the south-southwest. Windy spot seems to be in Garden City at 16. Looking at our highs and lows yesterday from the Garden City Regional Airport, we had a high of 82 yesterday, record 106 back in 2011, 52 degrees last night. That is a record. The old record set in 1964 of 53. Nothing in the bucket overnight. Looking at our forecast, 91 degrees today. Winds are going to be out of the south at about 14. And then tonight, we're talking mostly clear, low of 65. Winds are still going to be out of the south at about 10 to 11 miles an hour. And then tomorrow, summer heat creeping back in for a few days. 95 for the high tomorrow. Winds are going to be out of the south at 16. And then tomorrow night, low of 69. Yep, you guessed it, winds southerly at 15. Looking at the 7-day, chance of rain that we had yesterday for Wednesday, out of there, it has now moved into Thursday. Little summer heat, as I said, creeping back in as we look at the mid to upper 90s there towards the end of the week, and then we get back into the 80s. High lows are going to be pretty much in the mid to upper 60s. That's a look at the weather. Markets are coming up next.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm home. This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on a sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
And welcome back. I am now joined on set by Mr. Brian Nelson. He is the director of the Finney County Preservation Alliance. Not Alliance of Preservation, right?
Correct.
Good to see you today.
You too.
Now, you got a big deal going on up there in Garden City.
Yes.
It's called the Windsor Hotel, which was known as the Waldorf of the Prairies, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I said Plains earlier and he corrected me. I thought, oh, I'm going to impress this guy, but I tell him it's the Waldorf of the Plains, and I said it's the prairies. So anyway, so tell us a little bit about, okay, let's start off with, what do you do with the Alliance? We're just going to call it the Alliance. What is your main function with the Alliance?
I'm the executive director of the Preservation Alliance. So basically, I'm in charge of fundraising, the membership, overseeing the restoration, and just generating any funds possible, like planning events and such.
Oh, you don't have much to do then, do you?
Not at all.
You do everything short of swinging a hammer, or do you do that too?
I do that too.
Okay, so Brian is the guy. All right, tell me a little bit about the Windsor Hotel and this restoration project that you've got going on.
Well, this all dates back to the beginning of Garden City, pretty much. 1887, John Stevens started construction of a grand hotel. Stevens was one of Garden City's 4 town founders. So it opened in 1889, continued as a booming hotel until the 70s when it was closed by the state fire marshal for not having a sprinkler system. And since the 70s, it has started to slip into disrepair. And, in the 90s, an organization, a nonprofit, was formed to start a restoration of this hotel. And we are just wrapping up our biggest step forward, which is a $1 million stabilization construction phase.
So you've spent $1 million in just getting it ready back to where you can really start to go to work on the inside then?
That's correct.
So basically, people aren't going to see the effects of everything for that $1 million, but once you start getting into the insides and stuff's going to take off, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and since, we're just wrapping up a project that's not a very visible one, we wanted to do something that was very visible. So that's how we kind of launched our cupola campaign.
Okay, and the cupola is that big deal up on top, kind of, I call it the little lookout tower or whatever, but it's a very prominent landmark in Garden City. I mean, you can see it pretty much from both ends of Main Street.
Oh, definitely. And as you're coming into town from Liberal, that's, the horizon you see.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal, and we're showing some footage there now. And you brought a piece of the cupola with you.
I did. It is a pressed tin structure, and this is a part that came off several years ago, and, we just picked it up and held onto it, but this, will be put back on with a successful campaign. We had to raise $40,000 in 4 months, and our campaign ends at the end of August, and we have about $3,000 left to raise.
So you're getting really, really close.
We're very close.
So when you start to restore the cupola up there, I mean, what exactly is going to take place with that? I mean, is it going to be totally rebuilt or just redone on the outside, or what's going to happen?
With a building that's listed on the National Register of Historic Places, everything has to be worked with that's already there, unless it's completely compromised. So there are some rotted wooden beams that will be taken out, but everything else we'll be working with. Some things, like this probably won't be, the pieces that are missing probably won't be tin. They'll probably be fiberglass, because once you paint it, it's going to look just like the other ones.
Sure.
And it's going to be a bit more sturdy than this one here.
And it won't rust as bad on the bottom as this one.
No.
Has. That one's seen a better day. But it's been up there since what? 1889.
Yeah.
It's been up there for a day or two.
It's been up there for quite a while.
Okay. So basically, with the brick and everything that is already on the cupola, you're going to be reworking all that original stuff, and you're going to keep everything as original as you can.
That's correct. And then it'll also be painted to time period colors, and we'll run a 15-foot flagpole and run up the American flag on there
really?
too. So that'll be nice, waving over our main street.
Okay, so what kind of colors did they use back in the 1880s in Garden City when it was first founded?
Well, actually, they kept pretty consistent with a lot of the painting on the building was painted to look like limestone, which is the color we have on here.
Okay.
But the shingles would have been painted to look like slate tile, so those will be painted blue. Right now, there's no paint on them at all. It's all worn off. And then, we'll probably have some other blue accents, this limestone color, and possibly some colors similar to brick, your red or orange.
Okay. So, all right, and you were telling, this is kind of an interesting fact, because Brian was telling me before the show, that Mr. Stevens, who built the Windsor, he started out as a ranch hand for, I forget his name.
The Fultons.
The Fultons,
yes.
Who are co-founders also of Garden City.
Yes, the Fulton brothers were out buffalo hunting in southwest Kansas, and were in the Arkansas River Valley, and said, you know what, this is a great place to start a community. And John Stevens was one of their hired hands, and he jumped on board with them. And then they also pulled Charles Jones, who's known as Buffalo Jones, into the project as well. And those were our 4 town founders.
Mr. Stevens did okay for himself with the Fulton brothers then, didn't he?
He did. He married one of their daughters.
Wow, you can't. All right. Okay, so but the big thing, the big thing that kind of fascinated me is you were talking about the history of the Windsor was when he started building this, it was going to be a 2-story building.
Yes, he first built a Grand Opera House and then broke ground for what he called the elegant 2-story hotel. And once it got to the 3rd story, people said, "Hey, what are you building over there? That doesn't look like 2 stories." And it ended up at 4, so twice as large as he told people to expect for.
Well, it ended up being, what, 55,000 square feet inside of it?
Big building.
It's a big building.
Yeah.
It's a cool looking building, too. If you have a good... And now, when you go to Garden City, you're going to drive down Main Street and you're going to go, oh, yeah, that's it. Because I'm sure, you know, a lot of people just know it as, oh, it's a big building where the furniture store used to be on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, a very important part of this whole deal, though, is people want to donate to the Cupola Project.
Yes, and the Cupola campaign is actually a cancer wish project. The founder of our organization, Don Harness, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and his children kind of came to the Alliance and said, if he can't see the whole building finished, we want him to at least see this little piece of it. So everyone just kind of ran with that and have been very supportive. The donations have come in steadily, and we're at that point where we just have 3,000 left through canstarter.com.
All right. So, yeah, and we had that where you can donate up on the screen. So that's really a cool deal. And once people start seeing things starting to come together on the outside, I'm guessing that you're going to get just a little bit more notoriety on this deal, don't you think?
That's what we believe as well. You know, there's been a lot of work that's done over the course of years since 1997, but there hasn't been any big visible projects. So this is one we're hoping people will get really excited about because this little piece is our icon in Garden City.
They're going to be going, hey, they're doing something to the cupola.
That's right.
On the Windsor Hotel. Holy mackerel. Brian, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
You know what? I want you to come back, too, as you get further into this project so we can kind of keep an eye on what's going on.
Oh, yeah, I'll bug you.
All right, yeah, because this is a cool deal. All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
All right. And stick around. I'll be back right after this. Hi, I'm Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs at noon weekdays right here on TV 23. Hey, do you think you have an idea for something that would make a great segment? Somebody that would make a great interview? What about a community event that needs highlighting? Let us know here at the station. Email us news@kdgltv.com.
Feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters. Always here for you. Wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
Of the Prairies. That's a neat deal. Hey, let's take a look at some of the sports stuff going around. IndyCar driver Justin Wilson died yesterday from a head injury suffered when a piece of debris struck him at the Pocono Raceway on Sunday. He was 37. Wilson was a British driver who lived outside Denver in Longmont and was hit in the head during the race on Sunday by a piece of debris that had broken off of another car. Sad story. Tampa Bay's Jameis Winston is making strides as an NFL quarterback. Now he has a home victory to build on. Last night's 25-11 preseason victory over the Cincinnati Bengals may not count in the standings, but it was welcomed by a team trying to change the culture of a franchise that hadn't posted a win. Now that's an exhibition or a regular season game at Raymond James Stadium since 2013. And the Green Bay Packers' worst fears about the severity of receiver Jordy Nelson's knee injury have come true. The team said yesterday only that the star receiver suffered a significant right knee injury, and that will cost him the season. And it had been nearly 2 years since Chris Medlin stood on the mound to start a game, and it was no surprise the Royals right-hander felt a few butterflies last night, but he seemed to chase them away in a hurry. He gave up a 2-run homer to the Orioles slugger Adam Jones early on in the game, but the Royals came back in the sixth and scored 7 runs in their bottom half of that inning. They went on to beat the Orioles 8-3 in Game 1 of a 4-game set. Game 2 tonight at the K in Kansas City. Let's take a quick look at our temps today. 79 outside right now, 66% humidity. Winds are out of the south-southeast at 10. Barometer is steady. Go out and make it a... Oh, and we do have the 7-day coming back up. There it is. We're going to have 91 today, 95 tomorrow as summer creeps back in, but we're going to start cooling down a little bit towards the weekend. Lows in the 60s. Go out and make it a great Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. For free tips to help you save, go